Hello, Sagittarius. I'm here for your reading. I was sitting with you guys' energy for a little bit. You guys have actually been on my mind since last night. And I had this feeling that you guys are going through a lot of, well, maybe not all of you, but for the majority, I feel like some of you guys, career-wise or financially, you guys aren't as happy as you can be, or maybe you're doing a little bit of stressing, or not necessarily stressing, but overthinking. So I wanted to come on and give you guys, a reading so we could see what's going on with that, and I can assist you in any type of way that I can, when it comes to the readings and things of that nature, okay? So yeah, we're gonna, really we're just going to freestyle this type of reading because I do feel like it has something to do with money or your career, or maybe even your purpose, as far as like what it is that you are doing versus what you would like to be doing. Okay, so we're going to see what that's all about. And I did use my zodiac oracle deck so that I could see what card came out, so that we could see like who I should read for, just to confirm, because I had been feeling you guys' energy, but I wanted to confirm should I actually read for you guys today. And your card popped up, which is a Sagittarius card. So I was like, okay, yeah, we definitely need to read for the Sages. I think you guys really need this reading right now. Okay. Alright, so we're going to see if we have any poppers. I'm just going to shuffle just to, really sink into you guys' energy even more. We have the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands, he kind of rushes in. You never really know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but you know that it's going to be something that's like, whoa, okay, we're going for it. Whatever it is, the outcome, we're just going to go for it, because we can't go back now. Like, we've already started. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when the fire starts and you're like, oh, okay, well, there goes the fire. Sagittarius, fire element. So it definitely does resonate with you guys. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's do past, present, and future. I just want to have an outlook of you guys' story right now, just to kind of see where you guys are at. Because again, I feel what you guys are feeling, but I'm not sure if that's the complete story, okay? So let's see. Okay, so in your most recent past, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, now the Four of Cups of reverse can mean that you're feeling uninspired. This can mean that you as a person are not necessarily receiving all of the fulfillment that you would like to receive from whatever situation that you may be trying to get some confirmation from, whether it be a person, a job, family, anything of that nature. It's in reverse. So I am thinking that you guys are not necessarily bored. You guys are feeling a little bit more inspired, at least from this past week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I think you guys are kind of feeling like, okay, maybe I do have something, or you guys have taken that blessing from universe that's like, okay, like you have something to look forward to. You don't have to feel uninspired. You don't have to feel like no one is on your side, because that's completely untrue. And I feel like you guys actually took that, and took it in, and you're going towards it now, okay? I do want to see, yeah, we got a popper, which is Queen of Wands, I'm sorry. I don't know why I say that. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands normally is the Leo card, I would say, as far as the fire cards. But she is someone who's very passionate and very creative, and she's not stern, but she definitely knows what she wants her creative outlook to be. So she has her creative plan set in stone, but it's all about how she allows those things to blossom, okay? So she's a queen she makes her decisions more based off of her creativity in her heart, okay? Passion, very fiery energy, okay? So she's not one of those that's going to play chess with you. She's more like, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I envision for the entire plan. But in order to get to that, we have to figure out a way to get this person and this person together, or you know what I mean? Like, she uses people, not uses it in a bad way, but she uses that energy to figure out how she wants to conduct everything that involves her creativity, her love, her passion, her drive, her inspiration, all of those things. Okay, so she really uses what is around her, earthly, and sometimes it is a sexual femininity about her that really has, it's like an amplified creativity. So that's really the word I'm trying to say. It keeps coming up. So creativity. Okay, so I think you guys are feeling a little bit more or less restricted in what you want to do, and also what it is that defines who you are as a creative individual. Okay, so I hope that clears it up for you guys. That was the past energy. Okay, so that's the most recent energy. So then for your current energy, we have the Empress. I mean, not the Empress, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying these cards wrong. We do have the High Priestess though. Okay, now the High Priestess obviously deals with learning from your experiences, being smarter because of things you've went through, so trials and tribulations. And with that, I was shuffling and I got the Justice card. Okay, now the Justice card can also double as the Libra card. This is a time where things are balancing out and you're seeing what was good and what is bad, or what needs to be taken out and what needs to be staying with you. So when this comes to, if this has to deal with even a person, because these are two females on your present energy, you may be dealing with someone who is a lot smarter, wiser than you, not smarter, but wiser. So meaning that they're most likely older. They don't necessarily have to be, but they could be older. And really trying to show, and you're dealing with this person now, and I feel like they're trying to show you, hey, like, I've been through this before and I'm trying to give you some heads up, but you're not really taking my advice. Or this is, it doesn't even have to be a bad thing. It could be something like, okay, like, I've been where you're at. And I can tell you firsthand, like, you're going to be okay. Like, this isn't something that's detrimental. But this is something that you must deal with head on. Okay, so this isn't something to shy away from. This is something you have to look at the situation eye to eye and be like, look, this is what it is. This is what I want. And this is what's not going to work for this situation. Okay, and that's where this Justice card comes in. So definitely, if you have this person in your life, it could be like a motherly figure, or it could just be someone who doesn't necessarily have isn't a female, but has female qualities as far as being compassionate and being a little bit more receptive and open-minded when it comes to solutions. Okay, so this isn't someone that's they're very dominant in what it means to, like, what's right and wrong, but I do feel like this person has a lot of experience in life in general, so I feel like they can understand, so they can see perspectives very well, and they're not so quick to just be like, oh, well, we're not going to look at that. They don't judge as easily, but they do judge when it comes to what's right and wrong. But they're not going to judge the person that committed whatever type of mistake, or you know what I mean? So they take all of that into accountability, and then they weigh out the odds and be like, okay, this is what we need to take out, this is what we don't. If you don't have a person in your life who's doing this, this could be a situation that you need to do. This could be a situation where you need to figure out, like, weigh out the goods and the bad, the pros and the cons. Okay. Okay, let's see. So for your future card, we have the Ace of Swords, and this is the energy of really being able to slash through things and be like, okay, this is a distraction and this is something that I actually need. So again, with this whole justice, this card, the Justice card, this is very, very I really feel like you guys are trying to balance, or at least figure out, what do you want when it comes to, I want to say work related, because I was feeling that a lot last night and today. But I do feel like this is something to do with your career, or at least something that is taking a lot of your time. I feel like you're kind of being like, okay, well, I don't even know if I really want to spend my time doing that. Like, do I want to move on to something else? And I think that's a really good position for a Sagittarius to be in, only because you guys are the warriors of the zodiac. So when it comes to finding where you fit in the circle of everything, life, your inner circle, or someone, or just the world in general, I really feel like it's important for you to always question at least who you as a person and what you are doing as a person to contribute to what you want others to see you as. Does that make sense? So I really feel like this is a good energy for you guys, this Ace of Swords, because it's a time where you can be dominant, and in a sense that, you know, you might not know where you're going, but you know kind of what to knock out and what to keep with you. You know what I mean? So really pay attention to that, because I have a feeling that a lot of this spread is really just about what do you want as a Sagittarius? What do you want as a person who is kind of looking for their place in everything? And it's up to you to put yourself in that place. Nobody else has the power to do that unless you allow them to. Okay, so when you in this spread, I really feel like you guys are kind of revving up that engine to go out there and be like, okay, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. But at the same time, I feel like some of you guys are not necessarily championing how you feel as a person. I feel like some of you guys are doubting yourself just a little bit, not to a detrimental point, but I do feel like if you guys would kind of just allow yourself to just go through with the motions and see what the journey has to offer, I really feel like you guys will encounter more beneficial things for you instead of like that what if feeling. Okay, now we have 4 cards pop out, okay, and my lucky number is 22. And so I feel like whenever I have a double, like 2 and 2, then it's a message when they all fly out at once, and this definitely did, okay? So this is for your future card. Now we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. So this definitely tells me you guys are not making a decision. You guys are stuck on a decision. You're trying to figure out, should you stay or should you go? And like I was saying, this the Ace of Swords really tells me that you guys are trying to be in that state where you cut out anything you don't need and then keep what you do. But in that sense, it's almost like you guys are like, I don't know if I'm making the right move. You know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine. I feel like everyone goes through this no matter what your sign is, okay? Now with that, we also have the Ace of Wands. So this card is all about determination and all about going after what you desire. And there's it's funny because this mental energy that you have in the future, which is the Ace of Swords, we have a lot of a fiery energy so far with that. So it definitely means you as a Sagittarius, as a fire sign, okay, you need to take on that fire and let it guide you, okay, so that once you use that fire to push you towards the emotional states and the financial states, you won't be so constrained with yourself, okay? You'll be more able to be like, I'm a fire sign, and what I want to become movement is what I will allow it to be. Fire is all about movement, creativity, pushing, going for creativity, inspiration, leading, you know what I mean? Bringing light into darkness. So really tap into that Sagittarius energy and really let that be of service to you instead of a hindrance towards what you want, okay? Now in agreement, also with these 2 cards, so far with the future energy, okay, that's coming up maybe in the week or the next week, okay, this is telling me you guys have not made a decision, but you do have the Ace of Wands. So I do see that you guys have that energy and that momentum, and it's going to come to you. So even if right now you feel like you don't know which side to go, or you're still weighing out what's good and what's bad, in the future you do have a decision to make, and you do have the power to make the decision, but you have to be willing to trust yourself. Now with that, we have the Queen of Cups. Excuse me, you guys. And with the Queen of Cups, this is really a time, this is really a queen who really isn't here for the bullshit, but at the same time, she's willing to entertain the fact that, okay, how are you when it comes to me? So even if this person is a terrible person, or even if this person is the person that she's judging, okay? So I'm sorry, you guys. Even if this person is a bad person, she is willing to see past that and kind of look into, okay, well, what are you showing me when it comes to your emotional state? How do you feel about me? Because anybody can do some things that aren't aligned with how they say they feel. So it's kind of like a fire queen is going to be like, okay, what are your actions showing? And then a water queen is going to be like, okay, I see what your actions are saying, but what do you feel? What are you feeling? Like, what is all of this? Like, why did you choose those actions that you did? That's how they look at it, okay? And it's in reverse. So I really feel like you guys are not aligning what you want versus what you're doing. So then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And Seven of Pentacles is all about really just going and working steadily. It's like routine, the daily routine. It's not much different, mundane life. This is what you do so that you can achieve things later on. But it's kind of like the same cycle over and over. So with this happening, I really feel like you guys are in the Ace of Swords is upright. Okay, so I don't feel like you guys are in a position where you aren't capable of deciding what's what and what you need and what you don't need. But I do feel like in order to achieve this new thing that you want to get into, because I feel like a lot of you guys are trying to switch up your life, but you're kind of like, well, I can't just pick up and do something else, which is fine, because we've been conditioned our whole life to feel like this is the path of life. You do this, you do this, you do this, and then you die. But we're getting into this shift, this collective consciousness. I feel like it's shifting a little bit in a way towards like most people still feel that way, but there's a little piece of voice which is a minority of us. I feel like just a small piece of the collective consciousness is feeling like I don't have to do certain things just to have a certain life. You know what I mean? I feel like some people are really just like, okay, if I want to leave this or if I want to change what I'm doing, I can do that. And that's really powerful, because once you start changing up the things that are normal, the outcomes become more shifted as well. And I feel like that's really important, especially for people who have the power to go out there and do that while keeping the others who don't believe in that also happy. And I feel like Sagittarius are really good for that, being optimistic and honestly just having that feeling of, yeah, you can come and talk to me. Like, I'm going to talk to you first type of thing. I feel like Sagittarius are more like, hey, like, how you doing? Like, you guys are more warm. You guys make people feel like they can talk to you. But you still have that fiery energy. So I feel like you guys can also change a lot of things as well. So I feel like that's a really, really important spot for you guys to be in right now. And that's for your future card. So again, this could be happening in the future, or, like maybe 2 weeks from now or something like that. But yeah, so I think you guys have a decision to make, and with the cards that I'm looking at, it does have something to do with your emotional connection to what you're doing financially to survive. So I do think this has to do with your life, but I think you want to find something more passion related so that you can enjoy your work. You know what I mean? And again, that's something that we all need. Okay, so let's see the basis of the energy you guys are gonna be encountering for the next 2 weeks. So the overall energy, we have the Empress, and she's in reverse, okay? So the Empress, she's a motherly figure. She is someone who is nurturing. She is someone who encourages you to do better, and also doesn't fault you for things that went wrong. So it doesn't have to be a mother. But this can definitely be a woman or a person who has feminine qualities who really encourages you and really keeps you going, okay? On an emotional state, she tries to keep you balanced, and she uses her earthly connections to show that, look, everything that you need, everything that you want is around you. As far as your stability when it comes to your emotional state, you can use the tree for shade, or you can also use the tree to supply you with wisdom if you sit there and you sit with the tree and you listen. You know what I mean? So it's like there's deeper meanings within having all of these earthly things around you, and that's really important, because without that, I really feel like the Empress, that's her power, is showing you that things are deeper than what you see on the surface. Okay, so keep that in your mind. So this can be a motherly figure, or this could just be someone who really enforces that in your life. Okay, and I feel like since it's in reverse, I feel like this person that is going to be could be you. You could be this little angel for someone who is showing them like, look, we can get through this. There's a deeper meaning to what you are obtaining mentally. You know what I mean? It's like there's more out there for you. So either you're going to be this person for someone else, or maybe this is just the energy that the universe needs you to understand. It's like you can have more of an assistance for yourself than you realize. But you have to be willing to know that you don't have to go by the cookie cutter recipe just to get the product that you want, okay? So I really want you guys to keep that in mind. And try to fix whatever it is that you feel like is something like how you guys can just kind of cut shit off easily. I really feel like you guys need to look a little bit deeper into some things that you feel like aren't worth it. Unless you know 100% it's not worth it, really look into the pros and the cons, okay? So if this is about work, look at both sides of the spectrum. So you may be feeling like, oh yeah, well, I like that job better, or I like this and this and that better. But if it's gonna take more out of you to just get to that job, and you're not really making a smarter decision for yourself passion wise, then is it really the job for you? You know what I mean? Like, or maybe you're making a sacrifice, or you're not making a sacrifice, and you're like, okay, well, I live so much closer to this job, but is that job the one that's going to fulfill you in here? And maybe if you go to that job that really fulfills you in your heart, and sparks a fire under you, I feel like you'll find the people that you need to be this empress to, or at least you'll find this empress energy that you can really benefit from in the future. Okay, so now I'm going to do use my zodiac oracle deck and see if there's any energies coming towards you, any signs specifically. So let's see, I want to see if there's any signs that's going to be coming to help you. Okay, so are there any signs for Sagittarius that can help them aid you with your decision making? Okay, or at least be of some assistance to you while you're trying to figure out what it is that you're trying to do next. Okay, so what can Sagittarius expect as far as signs of them coming towards them? Who's coming towards them? Okay. Okay, so we have Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, when it comes to Sagittarius, I feel like Taurus can be beneficial to them, as far as talking, as far as advice or getting information. You know, because Taurus are really their work involved, and whatever they want, they're gonna go get it. So, but they're a little bit more on the playful side. So think of Taurus kind of like or not playful, but they're more bold in their expressions. Okay, so they're not like Capricorn where they're a little bit more muted, but they're more like kind of how Leos are, I would say. When it comes to the earth signs, I think Taurus and Leo are pretty much hand in hand. It's just Taurus are focused on, I have a goal and nothing's going to stop me. Okay, and they're as bold as Leo, they're as extra as Leos. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, but they're very oriented, not necessarily in work, but they're oriented in figuring out, if I want something, what do I have to do to go get it? So they're not going to just go by like, oh yeah, I'm good at this, so I'm just going to go work at this, like a Capricorn. You know, they're more playful as far as not limiting themselves. I feel like they'll get themselves more into crazier predicaments because they kind of just go out on a whim. And I think that can be really beneficial as far as when you're growing up. Okay, so not necessarily when you should be already having your shit together, but when you're growing up and you have that energy of, I know what I want and I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know whatever I'm going to do is going to allow me to reach that goal. And that's fine. That's good. And I feel like Taurus and Sagittarius, I mean, Taurus get along very well with Leo. So I feel like Sagittarius and Taurus can really benefit from that, because you guys aren't as bold as Taurus, but I feel like you guys really can match up. Okay, so if you have Taurus coming towards you, take advantage of that. And yeah, so take advantage of that Taurus that's coming towards you, or at least that bull energy that's coming towards you. Okay, so don't be afraid of it once it comes. Really try to, unless this is a person who's caused you any damage, but I'm not feeling that from, because they're upright. So I really don't feel like this is a bad person. So really take that into account. Okay, now I want to see which sign you guys should look out for, because that's also very important. What sign should Sagittarius be on the lookout for? Okay, so also beware of, hold on. Okay, so be on the lookout for Libras. Okay, so Libras are about justice, and we've been having the Libra come up. Okay, so I feel like what this is trying to say is embrace the energy of being able to balance and do pros and cons of what you need, but don't allow that to take away the spontaneous energy of the Taurus. Okay, so don't allow that to inhibit other ways that you can still achieve the goal that you're trying to get. Okay, so with Libra, it's like they kind of plan out what they want to do, and they look everything. Okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, check, cross off, whatever you want to do. But don't allow that to knock off the fact that you can still achieve certain things without necessarily having to be like going by the instructions like word for word. Okay, so be open-minded. Make sure you're seeing things, but also allowing, even if a person has messed up, allow them to show you or allow them to give you a concrete reason. If you feel like there's still some iffiness, you need concrete reasoning, period. Okay, so it's really up to you to decide what you want in your life, what you don't, but you have to remember you cannot allow anything to become an obstacle for whatever it is that you want. So if someone is doing something, even if you think it's small, but if you think it's something enough to where you're like, I can't keep dealing with this, then cut them out. You have this is your prerogative, and this is anything that you would want to invoke. So it's like, if you want what you want to be perfect, you have to be in charge of what you don't want in your life and what you do want. And you can't just act like everything's okay and everything is just, you know, Jolly Ranchers and lollipops just because you feel like, oh, well, everything's gonna work out in my favor anyways. No, we're not using, like, I know Sagittarius are extremely lucky, but we're not using that. We're going to take our own luck into our own hands, and we're going to go figure this out by ourselves. That's the energy that I want you guys to embody, okay? Tauruses are very will-do attitude, determined as hell. So you need to have that in your head. Like, I will do this, okay? Like, I'm not going to let anything stop me. And I'm going to be smart about my decision, but I'm not going to let just one little thing determine how everything else turns out. Just because one thing goes wrong in your plan does not mean that you cannot reach or obtain whatever it is that you're trying to obtain, okay? So yeah, I really liked you guys' spread. I think that there was a lot of good energy in it, and I also feel like there's a lot of good coming to you guys. There's a decision coming up in the future, so beware of that. But it shouldn't be something, you guys have very, very strong energy right now, and that's probably why I was feeling you guys. But yeah, you guys are not in bad places, okay? This is your current energy, okay? Remember that. Justice and the High Priestess. So use what you have already went through and make a decision. If someone has already showed you bad signs, or if a job has already showed you things that you're not willing to deal with in the future, get out of it and don't let it stop you, okay? You have the luck of being a Sagittarius, so don't feel like you can't get what you want. But also realize, Taurus, whether it's a person or the energy that you should match up with, that's the energy of no matter what, I'm going to get what I want. And you have to keep that in mind. Because if you don't have that in mind, you might slip up and be like, oh, well, let me just see how, you know what I mean? Like, no, you take the reins and you go for it. You do what you need to do for yourself. And I really feel like it'll be more beneficial to you that way, because you'll learn more, you'll also encounter more things, and with that luck that you guys naturally have and the optimism, you're going to probably encounter people who can actually help you. Okay, so keep that in mind. The universe is on your side. I don't for a second think that you guys are going through too much where you can't get through it, but I feel like if there's anyone who's going to stop you from being what you want or what you want to have, it's really just being like, okay, well, you know, leveling out things. You need to do that, but you need to make sure it doesn't overconsume everything else, okay? Because it can really hurt you in the process. But yeah, you guys, I'm so happy I could read for you guys. I was feeling you guys' energy heavy, and I really wanted to make sure that you guys had this reading, because I just couldn't stop thinking about you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I'm here to help you guys. I love to give you guys as much advice that you need, and it's really important for me that you guys can connect to these readings, because I really pour my heart and put my, you know, my abilities, my spirituality, and my love into these readings, and I really hope you guys appreciate them. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. If I'm not your favorite Leo, I hope I will be one day, and until next time, I will see you, Sagittarius, in the next video. Bye.